The world has been lying to you about finances for so fucking long, you don't realize it. And here's why. The reason you don't realize the world is lying to you about finances is because one thing is you don't believe in using debt. You may think that debt is a bad thing. Debt is what got me where I am here today. And it's not because I went in debt. No, it's not because I couldn't pay the debt. It was never that. It was because the debt helped me get to places I would never be able to be. You know what I mean? When I first got my first business deal, I used fucking credit cards to get out of my city to go to that business deal. And that business deal ended up bringing me multiple six figures. You know what I'm saying? I made over $7 million at 22 years old by using debt. You know what I'm saying? By using the U.S. credit system. I was just watching the video. The U.S. credit system is one of the most unique credit systems because you can come here on an ITIN. If you don't have a fucking social security number, you come in ITIN. You can get your social security number assigned to you. It's just ways around it. You know what I mean? But if you already in the U.S., if you're already a fucking U.S. citizen, there's no way you shouldn't have a 3-digit credit score of above 680 or 700. If you don't have a 700 credit score in the U.S., what the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean? The banks can give you 20, 30,000, and you will easily be able to go and start that business, that investment. Shit, get you a car rental fleet, go buy that new property so you can make some money. Anything of the sort. You know, you don't have to be fucked up. I think people in the U.S. choose to be fucked up. It's not a way of living. Me, for example, everything you see on this table, this fucking view behind me, all this shit came off credit. You know what I mean? Credits. I used my credit. You know, I had got myself over $50,000 in funding, my first round of funding. When I was 19 years old, I raised $50,000 from the bank. The bank gave it to me. They never charged me a dime. It was at 0% interest. So what I'm telling you is you can do the same thing that I did. You can go into the bank and you can raise some money. Of course, your credit has to be decent, but you don't want to just go in the bank and get some money. You know what I mean? You want to be able to have an idea to put this money into, or else you're just going to be sitting on the money and you may actually fuck yourself up because, you know, the interest rates still go on. Now, the difference between credit cards and like loans, a loan is a fixed payment. So, you know, say if somebody gave you $50,000 and just told you to pay back $1,000 a month or something like that, that's fine. You know what I mean? Whereas with a credit card, you know, they'll give you $50,000 on this credit card. You only pay back what you spend. So if I spend $1,000 on this credit card, a $50,000 credit, let's say I max it out, hypothetically. Hypothetically, I max out a $50,000 credit card. Do you know that the payments on $50,000 is probably like $100, if $200 a month? You know what I mean? But of course, you don't want to hold that fucking $200 a month payment forever because the interest will eat you alive, literally. You know, and then you're gonna be looking back at the balance and be like, damn, this balance went up $5,000. Why is that? It's because they charged you interest on the $50,000 you used. They didn't charge you interest on the amount you was paying down. You know what I'm saying? So you do want to be conservative of what you use and how you use your credit, but the U.S. credit system is one thing that people lie to you about. In my own household, it was brought up as a bad thing, something that you shouldn't use. Really, they told me it was some shit that I should use for emergencies. Are you serious? I should fuck my credit up for an emergency? You know what I mean? Of course, like real life-saving emergencies, that's a completely different story. Like a family member on their deathbed or some shit and they need insurance, you know, or they on their last procedure or some shit. Even credit can cover that, but you don't want to be using your credit for medical bills or, you know, no bullshit like that. You want to be using the credit to make more money so you can pay for all that shit stress-free. You know, the world has been lying to you about finances. They've been lying to you about raising money. You know, these people don't know how to raise no fucking capital. I bought my first real estate development off capital, raising capital. I had a capital partner, my father. My father's a multimillionaire off real estate. You know what I'm saying? The way I did it was I had $7,500, bro. Some of that was credit. Like I had like a little $2,000 credit card that I used, and I had $5,000 of my own money. Put that shit up in a development, a new construction. We built it from the ground up. You know, I actually didn't even finish that first build I did. I only built the foundation on the property. I got the land rezoned. I got a land disturbance permit so I could dig into the ground and get the rough end plumbing done. I think we did rough end plumbing, foundation, that's it, rezoning. I bought it for $7K, about $8K all in, sold it for $15,000 profit, all off using my motherfucking credit. And this is what I'm trying to tell you. The U.S. has been lying to you about what you need to do in order to get where you at. You know, what I want you to do is go to creditkarma.com. It's a bullshit app. Experian is too. But I just want you to go on creditkarma.com and check your credit and see if it's even there. You know, if you're outside the U.S., you don't most likely have a fucking Credit Karma app. So you got to, you know, get an ITIN number established. What that is called an individual taxpayer number. I may be wrong, but I think it's, ITIN, individual taxpayer number. So what that does is it allows you to, you know, access banking relationships in the U.S., even being outside the country. So if you are outside the U.S., you can still get access to the same capital that we get access to. It's just you have to go through a few more loopholes, but it's still lucrative. You can still be in fucking Dubai raising $250,000 in capital from banks in the U.S. at 0% interest, and then using that for a business in Dubai. It doesn't matter. It all works the same. But for U.S. citizens, we have the blueprint for the shit. We already have the 3-digit score. You just gotta learn how to build it correctly. Go get you a fucking secure card or something. Put a few $1,000s on a secure card. Buy something with it. Let them report the balance that you bought the item with. Boom, pay it all off. In 90 days, they'll give you a higher limit, and they're gonna return the deposit you put on the secured card. Now you have a couple $1,000 credit card reporting to your credit. That shows the bank's comparable credit. So now if you do go and ask for another credit card, they see, oh, okay, he has a credit card on here that he's paid off before. So let me give him double what he got the first time. And this is how the U.S. credit system works, but people don't talk about this on a daily basis, and if they do talk about it, they're trying to save you some shit. So what I want you to do is just keep watching me, motherfucker. I'm gonna tell you how you can do this and get rich for real. Like I said, I made over $1 million at 22. You wanna know how I made that shit? Is by using my credit. I'm not gonna keep saying it. Actually, I am gonna keep saying it. I gotta keep saying it. That's the only way people understand this shit. You know what I'm saying? This shit is the view behind me. This shit crazy. I'm in Las Vegas right now. You think I would fucking believe I'm gonna be in Las Vegas? No, I would never believe I'm gonna be in Las Vegas. Fucking MacBook, Louis bag and shit. Thousands of dollars in clothes and shit. Thousands of dollars in shoes in my fucking bags. Top floor presidential at the Waldorf. You think I would fucking think I'll get here, brother? No. So, moral of the story, man, get your shit together. The U.S. has been lying to you about the fucking credit system. They've been lying to you about the finances. They've been lying to you, telling you to pay all your shit now. You don't need to pay your shit now. You need to get what's called say, for example, this is also for some people out there who may be in bad debt already and may not even believe in this shit because they already know fuck themselves up once. If you're in bad debt, you can get what's called a debt consolidation loan and consolidate every payment you have into one payment. Even if your credit is fucked up, you can get this loan by literally removing some of the things off your credit that's already bad and then going to apply for a debt consolidation loan. They'll give you $60,000 cash in your bank account to pay off every credit card, every loan you have, and consolidate it into one payment. And sometimes you even have money left over after you consolidate the debt. So now you even have some money to, go invest while you fucking zero out your cards. So more of the story, I ain't gonna talk your head off. I don't like talking people's heads off. I just like people to listen to me. So if you're interested in what I do and you want to know what I do, book a call below and let's go over your motherfucking credit file. But if not, fuck you, it's fine. But still follow the channel, like, subscribe, comment, and follow me on social media.